Hi guys, welcome back. This is the final installment of our series, how to switch from ProPhoto 5 to Flothemes. And in this section I'm going to quickly show you how to check your existing pages, how to use the page templates from Flothemes, as well as just a quick introduction into the Flothemes section. So first I'll just go to the Flothemes section and just explain how you can use this. And we're using Osaka right now, so it's one of our newest themes, and you'll get a similar look to each. But in here you'll have all the different options for various sections on the site, and you should have similar options for each theme. Again, it might look slightly different as we have created a new experience with our latest themes. But you'll have a section for your header, so that'll be the top part of your site, any pages on the site, the footer. I'll have some options for CSS and social media, sidebars and typography. So there's a lot of things that you're going to be able to update, and you can go into any section and you'll see that there are options and details for that. Again, we do cover all the sections in the documentation for your themes. So if you head to docs.flothemes.com and choose the theme that you're using, you'll actually be able to check out what all these areas do. If you go into any section, you'll get some details on that, and with our newer themes again, you'll have the videos and all the documentation linked in to the back end. The most important things will always be the header, adding the logo, the footer, updating the footer text, so you'll probably want to add your copyright details, etc. And you might want to enable a few different options for that. But we're going to get into the nitty-gritty, the hard part of this, and that is checking your pages. And it's not actually that difficult. So we can check out any page, for example the blog page, and we'll have a quick idea of how it looks. And right now we're using the archive page, but we're going to want to use our own styling for that. But I will start with the home page first, and I will go to the home page. And we already checked out the home page, and right now it's not looking particularly great, but that's not going to be a problem. So in here you see that there was a ProPhoto grid originally added. I'm just going to remove all that. It's not going to be required for this tutorial, and it's unlikely that you will want to use it on your site now. And I'm going to go over to the page attributes section, and this is where you can select any page template required to set up the pages from Flothemes. And for this example, we do have a homepage template, so we're just going to have to set that up, and we will just go through the options as normal. So we will just check the first section, do we want a custom header, and that is the slideshow. I do in this case, so I'll just select the view that I want, and then I will use the slideshow. And that's the only option I want to set in this. Am I going to have the information block? I think I will use this in this case, so I've got the block displayed on. I can add some description text, and you'll probably want to add a little bit more text. Just to fill out the text, to see how it looks. And you can add any titles, and again it's just a matter of going and updating all the content sections for the page template that you use. Again, you can refer to the documentation on how to set up your homepage specifically, and it will make the process much easier. But I'm just going to do it briefly for this tutorial, so I'm just going to run through that nice and quick and just set it up. I won't be choosing any specific images, so if they don't look fantastic, it's because I didn't predefine these images, so I'll just select some for that now. I'm just going to set up a block section. Do I want the block section? Yes. I'll add 3 of those, for example, and I'll just add the little images for each. Again, you'll probably want to take a little bit more care and make the selections based on that. And we always say it's a good idea to check out the demo site beforehand and sort of know what pages and templates that you would like to use, and we try to label those from the demo site. Do I want to use any featured items on the site? Yes, I'm going to show this blog, and I'm going to use some blog posts. And you can just select a number. Again, this is going to be different for each theme, but for this instance, I'm going to select a few. And you can add an updated link. Maybe you want to link it to your full home page. And finally, I'm just going to go to the last section, and this is a little testimonials or feature slideshow. And you can just add a number of items here. Again, just put in some text, and you'll select your images. And you can do that a number of times. And that's all there is to it. That is pretty much the homepage setup. If I was just to update this, I'm going to go over and check the homepage and refresh. We should now have a nice new shiny homepage. Again, this is why you will upload a PNG logo, otherwise you'll end up with this white background, so highly recommended to do that. And you can see that we've just quickly set up a page in only a matter of minutes. And this will be the same process you will want to do for each page. So you would just go check through your pages. I always say that it's a good idea to just open up all the pages and see how they look. So I want to check the investment in the portfolios and see what's in each. And then you'll have a good idea what it is to change. If you're using the blog page and you see this post page section, or the label, you'll want to deselect that. And to do that, you'll go to settings and you'll go to reading. And the reason we deselect that is we have our own page templates, so there's no need for you to use the post page or assign a post page. The only thing I want to do is have assigned a static home page, which has already been done here, which is great. So we've just hit save, and again we'll go back to pages and you'll see it's no longer there, so it'll be the blog page. So finally I can just check out the blog. So you'll see that the about page already looks quite good. There's a few broken images. You just want to go in and make sure that they're updated and looking good. The investment page, again, it looks completely fine, but you probably will want to update it using some of the relevant options. The portfolio is blank because I know that previously this was a link to a selection of galleries, so I will reassign this page, and the galleries that they were using was from the drop-down menu, and they were using specific items from ProPhoto. So it's probably, in this case, you're probably going to remove these pages or redirect them to your new galleries. And that's something I can briefly show you how to do. The next page I'm going to update is just going to be the blog page. The other pages look relatively okay. Again, it may be the case that you've seen from the demo that there's a specific page template that you want to use. I know we do have an about page template, and maybe the about page you'll just want to update that and use that. But for this case, I'm just going to go to the blog page, and I'm going to use a listing page. Again, it could be a blog page or a latest post page, depending on the page template you're using, or the theme template. And in here, then you're just going to want to select all the various options. Do I want the title? Yes. For example, the journal. And then I will have the featured items. Do I want a featured blog post or not? I'm just going to pick yes. I'm going to pick one of those. Then I'm going to select the various options for how the page looks. So I want to show the blog post, so I've selected that. You can just select what view type you would like. And again, just go through the settings. And if you're unsure about any, refer to the documentation. You will get all the details for that within the documentation. So if I just update this, and then I check the page, So let's go to view page. You'll see that we've just set up the journal, we have the featured item, and we have various blog posts shown below. So it's looking pretty darn good. And that is the home page. So the next page I will set up will be the portfolio page. I know previously, as we mentioned, we used the ProPhoto slideshows. So it's probably going to be a good opportunity to update that. Again, I'm just going to remove the grid. We don't need it anymore. I'm going to use a listing page again. And again, this could be the latest galleries page, or it could be the latest post page, depending on the theme. And within here, I'm not going to choose a featured item this time. I'm just going to select what I want to show, and then the view type. I'm just going to do a grid. I'm just going to update. Click update, and then once updated, you can just check out the portfolio page. Perfect. So as you can see, we have the engagements. One thing I didn't do was add the featured image. So whenever you are creating your galleries, I'll just briefly show you that. And this is a little tip. When you are creating the galleries, make sure that you upload a featured image. That means whenever it comes to your portfolio or your blog page, that it will have a little preview option here. So I'm just going to set a featured image quickly. Like so, set a featured image. And then I'm just going to hit update the page. And again, you can also use gallery categories and tags as well if you need to. And maybe you want to do various portfolio type pages with different categories. You could do that. I'm going to add a second gallery just to show you how it filters into this page. So it does come in first come, first serve basis. So engagements are here first. I'm going to create a second one. Well, let's call it weddings, for example. Again, I'm just going to select a number of images. You can drag and drop images off your desktop. It's probably the case that you will have them all saved down and just upload them like that. So it's going to be the easiest option, or you can just select from your current media library. Again, I'm just going to select the view type and just publish that. And the final item will be to add the featured image. Don't forget to do that in this process. So let's just set the featured image. And then just update the page again. And now when I check the portfolio, we will now have two galleries. So we've got the weddings and the engagements. And again, as you add more galleries, they will just filter into this page as required. And as mentioned, if you are selecting categories and you only want to select certain categories, you can do that. Again, just refer to the documentation. It will cover all the details on how to do so. So we've created the portfolio page. In this instance, Eileen will want to create the day jobs, her engagements, her weddings, galleries again, and then we will want to redirect those specific pages. So if I go to the portfolio and I click into weddings, you can see that we now have a slideshow. Again, you can just add all the same content and text that is required. So that will be perfect. Now, the reason you will want to update the links or redirect them, if you're going to delete these pages, you'll want to make sure that there's a place for them to go to. So, for example, if you didn't want people to come back to the weddings page, maybe you feel it's now a little redundant, you could always install a plugin that's going to help you do that. And I would recommend using a plugin called Simple 301. And it will create a really simple way to do that. So if you went to plugins and add new, for example, search for Simple 301. and you can just install and activate. And the first page you'll want to go to is the page that you want to redirect. So I know I want to redirect the portfolio weddings page because I want to direct to a gallery that I have just uploaded. So I will just go to settings 301 redirects. I will choose the page that I want to redirect from, and I will then choose the place I want to redirect to, and I will just hit Save Changes. Now, whenever you do this, and you see here it shows an example to remove all the start of the page, so I will remove the very start of the site. You don't need the site name in here, you can just remove that and save the change. Again, and then again we will try this page, and this is now redirected to the gallery weddings. So there's a little simple mistake. If you're wondering why it doesn't work, just make sure to remove the first part of the page from the request section. And again, you can follow that process, and maybe you'll do it for the day jobs page and the engagements page as well, and link to new galleries as required. Finally, one page that you will want to set up will be the contact page, and in many cases you won't have a contact page with ProPhoto, so that's not a problem at all. You will now want to use a contact page template, and from that you can just create a page called contact. You can use a page template contact, select the layout option that you would like, and then just update the options for that. So I'm just going to add a featured image. And I'm going to add, you can use two options, a shortcode or a built-in form. If you're just using the built-in form, just add your email. So make sure to add your email, otherwise you won't be getting inquiries. If for safety reasons that you want a way to track the submissions, I highly recommend using the Flothemes plugin, and then you could just use this custom shortcode option and just paste that shortcode in, and that way then you will have submission tracking. Or you could use maybe an existing shortcode from another plugin. It's possible that you use Contact Form 7 or Ninja Forms or even Gravity Forms. They all have shortcode options, and you can just embed those straight into this page using the shortcode option. So I've just created all the options that I need and went through and updated that. I'll just update the page. We'll just give it a quick view. And that's perfect. So we have a contact page. Great. Now that's we've created pretty much all the pages. You've went and reviewed all your site. You're pretty happy with how it looks. You might want to finally just go back to your menu and make sure that you've added all the menu items. So we just created a new content page, so it's going to be a good idea for me to add that to the menu and just save it, and that way then it will be available in the menu. But once you're happy with everything, all you have to do is again review the site. I would highly recommend also going and checking out our launch checklist and just checking through the items. And when you are ready, just hit publish the test site up here, and then you'll get a second dialog box that confirms if you want to launch the site, and once you click yes, that will launch your new site. So it's pretty simple process. One thing to remember is if you were blogging and making new blog posts in your old site, you're going to have to replicate those in the test site. So I recommend trying to do this over the weekend or over a few days, and not blogging in that period, and then whenever you publish the new site, then you can continue to blog. It will just make it much easier and save you any additional hassle. And that's it, folks. That's pretty much the process of making a switch from ProPhoto to Flothemes. It should take you maybe a few hours Some people it'll take you longer just to redo those pages, make the selection of images, go through the optimization and make sure that it's looking really perfect. And once you're ready, get your new sites launched, send them over to us. We always love to see new sites being sent into the group. So send them over. It would be great to see what you guys come up with. And if you have any questions, just drop us an email and we're always happy to help. Thanks, guys.